Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we're taking a look at a new game. This is called Dynasty Warriors Unleashed. Now, some of you may be familiar with this game from its days as a PlayStation and Xbox game, as a console title, but this is their first mobile port, and I was encouraged to check it out for a lot of the same reasons that I like Marvel Future Fight, and so I did. I've been playing it, I enjoy it, so I wanted to bring it to you guys and show you in case you're looking for another game to play, in case Marvel Future Fight is not scratching enough of that ARPG itch. We're going to talk about this one, what it does well, what it does not so well, and what you can expect from this game if you want to go out and play it. It's obviously free to play. You can go check it out on the iOS store, App Store for Google Play and stuff like that. But let's jump into the actual game. So much like Future Fight, you have your character and their main level up in the top left hand corner. You have energy that recharges on a timer, and you use that energy to do battle, to go into dungeons. And then you have various forms of currency that you use for different things. It looks like dumplings for energy, which is cool. I'm always hungry for some pastries, guys. And then you have different characters. Now, the one big difference between this and then another title is that the characters, obviously, if you're not familiar with the franchise, don't hold a lot of weight. There's not a lot of impact when you're playing as this guy with the white feathery hat, and you're playing as, this other guy with the eye patch, the Nick Fury kind of guy. Or if you're playing as the guy with the horse tip head, or you're playing with the guy who likes to frost his tips. It's, or the chick with the fans or their knives. Anyways, there's a lot of cool characters. I don't mean to make fun of them. It's just that there's not a lot of attachment to be had initially until you get familiar with the characters. But that's okay, because there's actually a lot of characters in this game for you to choose your favorite from. In total, there's about 50 different characters that you can play around with and unlock and level up. So the game starts off, it's only a couple days old, but they start off with a really healthy roster already, and there's a lot of kind of interplay between different characters. There's a huge storyline. It's got a very, very strong, background and history with all the games that have preceded it. If we go into the campaign, this is something that I really like. The way that they've laid it out looks so cool, first of all, aesthetically, but it also builds up the story. So, of course, the pieces of the map that you unlock as you play will complete these pictures, which give you an overview of what happened in those few missions, but it also is telling the story for you in a number of images, like this one, which I gotta say, guys, this looks pretty fucking cool. Now, you can also notice here that there's normal, hard, and elite mode, and there seems to be like close to 60 missions on each level, so that's, potentially 180 different levels. Of course, we're not going to expect, I don't expect to see a lot of difference in terms of, level 1-1 for normal, hard, and elite, aside from HP going up, damage going up of the mobs. But I want to jump into a mission to show you guys just what it looks like, what to expect. Once you select the mission, you get to see here what your potential rewards could be. It tells you what the best power is of the highest enemy in the game, and then it tells you your top officer's power. So as you can see there, I'm good, and it tells you the recommended typing there. Similar to Future Fight and a lot of other games of this nature, you do have typing, except in this game you only have 3 types. You have water, or like the blue one, green, or the like speed type, and then you have the red one, which is like the fire or combat typing. As you can see here, elemental advantage gives you more damage. So it's very similar. It's a very rock, paper, scissors kind of setup. We've seen this before in a lot of different games. They're not doing anything groundbreaking, but it's good to see some familiar things. Once you have your team set up, if you want to change, you go into support, you can go and do that. You can also select friends to come and help you from your friends list, and then you go use a dumpling and you jump into battle. Every single match, every single campaign mode that I've jumped into has had a pretty intense, like, prologue. As you can see here, you've got different guys talking, there's voice acting, there's pretty good music to go along with it, and the storyline does tread on a lot of familiar themes for the Dynasty Warriors franchise, if you're familiar with that. If you don't care about this, you can obviously just skip it and jump right into the action, but there are some unskippable cutscenes which are still pretty cool in my opinion, especially, given the fact that I come from a game that is very big on the visuals. This game does not disappoint. Now, I will say that initially, oh, you actually can skip this. Initially, when I was playing, I didn't know that the graphics are scaled down. So initially, when you start playing, you can't see this from this menu, but from the main menu, the graphics are really scaled down to the bare minimum. So the game might look a lot uglier for you than it does for me because I scaled my graphics up. Of course, you have to take into account your device and what it can handle. But if you look at how nice these graphics are, you'll start to build a bit of an appreciation for this game. It's a little bit different than Future Fight and other ARPGs. It's more of a Diablo 3 style game in that there are lots of mobs, low-level mobs, low-level enemies that just kind of swarm the screen that you just wipe out really easily. And then you'll have captains, or you'll have higher level minions that kind of spawn in at, you know, random or predetermined times in the campaign battle, and then you have to take them down, and they have their individual health bars. So as you can see, the captain's zoned in. He's my new target, and I'm attacking him. This is playing on auto, so I can explain it to you guys, but it's very similar to other games. You have skills there that are on cooldown. He just used it, so it's back on cooldown. You got 8 seconds, 18 seconds, and 6. And then on the top, we have this extra skill. This one's very cool. Once you build up enough like momentum or kind of energy, it's called Muzogen, you can cast your special ability if you're at a high enough rank. So of course, a rank 1, a 1-star character is not going to have many skills. A rank 6 character is going to have lots of skills. And as you can see here, there's also barrels that you can break. My character had broken them to pick up some extra additional buffs. Let's take it off auto and see what that buff is over there in the corner. That was Muzogen. I get extra so I can use this skill more. And this is kind of like my ultimate ability. You see these extra guys coming in. Looks very cool, animates very fluidly, and does a shit ton of damage. This guy is done. I just Muzogen'd him in the face. So that's pretty cool. I also had someone coming in to help me. That was like an NPC ally. This is pretty cool too. The city starts to flood. So there's a lot of effort put into making the story feel very fluid and making each progressive victory in the campaign feel like you're building up to something. Then you have your victory screen, very classic. I got 3 stars. You can see those are the requirements for 3 stars, clearing it with a certain amount of time, killing a bunch of enemies, and having everyone on your team survive. You get your loot, which is always very important, and then you can see your experience for both your account, because you get player experience, and then your character's experience. Then you can keep going on. If you don't have enough power for the mission, you can see there my top officer is kind of about 400 points lacking. It's going to warn me I have insufficient power. Should I boost my guys up? Let's go take a look at some of the other stuff, because I do have a lot of praises to sing about the campaign in this game. I think it's fantastic, but there are a lot of other game modes. So if we jump over into challenges, there are 3. I still haven't unlocked exploration, so I don't know what that holds, but the daily trial is kind of like your daily missions. You can get a certain number of attempts, and then each different daily mission will give you a different kind of item. So this is a gem chest. Gems are items that you socket into weapons and armor to enhance them further, kind of like Uru. Very straightforward. Wooden Ox is one that's just going to give me extra coins, so it's going to be like a gold stage, and I can battle them. What I really like about these ones is that they have different requirements. It's not just like a beat-em-up stage. So in this one, I have to destroy the Wooden Ox within the time limits to earn coins. I want to show you this mission, guys, because this is hilarious. It's almost like a mini game. And it's so different than what we're used to seeing from ARPGs, which is just repetitive hack and slash, that I think this is a really good indication of what kind of creativity you can come up with if you're not just sticking to the same old trope. So as you can see here, I have my character, I've got my skills, but I'm trying to avoid some of the boxes and break some of the other wooden boxes to collect coins. And of course, there is a strategy to this. It's not just a button mash affair, because as the time goes on, I'm going to get a lot more wooden boxes thrown at me, and I'm going to start to miss some of them. They're going to come at different speeds. They're going to try to disorient me. And this is just a really fun way to inject some, levity into the game, and also to just see how characters would react in different situations, Maybe a character that I don't like playing in the campaign mode has a really fast auto attack. We got the giant wooden gold ox coming at me. I think it's from this side. You can see that they might be better in a game mode like this, and it adds additional... Oh, we broke them all down. Sweet. It adds additional versatility. Oh, we're getting real fast now. I think this is the end here. We got about 30 seconds left. To different game modes. So I really like this one. It's very, very fun, and, it's just something new. Aside from these daily quests, we also have other missions that we can complete, like a boss fight where you have to go in and fight different bosses. You can see their health, you can see how much time you have to do it, and you can join in and try to do as much damage as you can. So you can see here different, and it gives you different restrictions as well. So Jin officers from the blue symbol or the blue type will receive 30% bonus. I don't know if that's 30% bonus damage or what, but you can see there it costs energy to fight, and then you can see if you deal a certain amount of damage, you get a certain amount of rewards. So they have a lot of different game modes. In addition to those game modes, if you go onto the battlefield, you can do things against other players. You can raid them, which is like an automatic attack to try to steal some of their resources. You can also do an arena mode, which is your basic PvP. You can do a skirmish mode, which is a little bit different. It's more of a team scenario, kind of like a battle world scenario where there's lots of different people. And then you have your conquest. I haven't unlocked that one yet. As far as developing your roster and developing your stuff, they do have like your typical daily giveaways. If you go into the market, they have daily giveaways for recruits, which are like new characters. So anywhere from 1 to 6 stars, you can unlock new characters. They got these nice animations. There we go. I got a new 2-star hero, and I can pay more of these jade coins to get another one. I also have a larger draw. They're pretty good with free stuff and with giveaways. I found this is made by Nexon, I believe this game is. So it's a different company, but they seem to be pretty generous as far as the free stuff. It's 5 daily chests or daily draws of this chest, but they have a timer on them or a cooldown, so I have to wait after each one. We'll talk about the weapons really shortly. That's probably the biggest, blemish of this game that I can see, at least initially. That's awesome. I got a 4-star, armor. That seems pretty good. Jumping into the inventory, we can see that once you've amassed a whole bunch of different items, you can then use them and equip them on your different characters. So if we go to like one of my officers, let's take my best officer for example, and we want to equip him with some items, we can see here on the right side that he has 4 different slots for items. I've already equipped a weapon on him, but we can see here it kind of gives us a little guide. This bow is going to do more damage, this spear and this hammer, this other hammer, this sword, and then the rest are going to do less. It's a little bit annoying that the other weapon is not shown in terms of its stats on this window. I'm kind of guessing how much better it's going to be. It's just giving me a green arrow, which doesn't indicate a lot to me. What if the bow gives, 50, but the sword gives 45? There's not a lot of difference between 45 and 50. I would like to have a little bit more information on this. In addition to improve weapons to make them, higher stars. As you can see here, it's a 3-star weapon, but obviously you can go all the way up to 6 stars. You have to randomly combine 2 weapons together, which I really don't like because it reeks of, bad RNG. So that's the equipment. It's basically the same thing for the armor as well. You can refine it by, sacrificing other armors. You can upgrade it once you reach the max level, or you can combine it. You can also socket it with these gems that we've talked about, and the sockets will do different things. It seems like a pretty robust system for the inventory right now, and for like farming, which is a big part of these games. You have to have some kind of end goal for your farming, or else the game will get boring. So it seems like they have set that up pretty well, at least from what I can tell so far. I haven't, gotten to the end game just yet. The game is still very, very new, but I'm just a little bit concerned right now with the level of RNG in the equipment, which is kind of the crux of the game. If it's too hard to get, 4, 5, and 6-star rank items because of how random it is, and if you're not getting the ones that you want for particular characters, then it's going to be a frustrating experience. But that's just my kind of conjecture at this point. I don't know for sure. Overall, I think that the game is pretty well polished for its initial release. As I told you guys before, the graphics might look really bad at first, so you should check in the options menu if you're turned off by low resolution, because you can affect that a lot through the settings game and the settings menu. They do have right now both a 7 and a 28 login event. They do have like daily items that you can purchase to give you recurring bonuses if you do like doing that, like, kind of like a Stark stash, something like that. And they do have a quest system. They have guilds. They have a lot of, and even event systems and stuff like that. They do have a lot of the things that you come to expect from a very high polished game that is catering to the ARPG market, and I think this game does that really well. I think the biggest hurdle for this game is getting casual fans to care about these characters. Yes, they have 50 different heroes, but if I don't know any of their names, if I don't have any attachment to them, I'm not going to want to build them up and make them stronger. They all have different skills and abilities, and that's cool, and I like seeing that stylistically and visually, but I just don't know how much that can be sold to me front end, before I've actually played with these characters, before I've actually experienced their power and the coolness of their animations in battle. I don't know how they would necessarily address that, and maybe that's my fault for not being enough of a fan of the Dynasty Warriors series. I have played a couple of games in the past, but I would like to see how they address that in the future if they want to build this game, and if they want, you know, especially casual fans to jump on it, to get involved, and to keep the game alive and keep all the PvP stuff, you know, running and functioning at a high level. I'm really happy with the game right now. I'm satisfied with what the game gives me and how much time I can sink into it and the rewards that I get in return for playing it. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say. I would love to know what you guys think of this game, if you've played it, if you've played other Dynasty Warriors games in the past, and how you think this one, you know, matches up to other games that you played, maybe even Future Fight. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review, and of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care. He's still going.